All right. Good morning, everyone. We are live and rolling here on Ask the Agronomist on a beautiful late May morning. Beautiful for making hay, beautiful for spraying, beautiful for planting if you are still planting. Hopefully, if you have crop yet to plant, you are dry enough to plant. I know not everyone is. There were places that had heavy rainfall Friday and Sunday, and some again on Monday. So some areas that just cannot get dried out for a long enough period of time to finish planting, unfortunately. So we'll talk a little bit about that. If you're being impacted by that, we're going to talk about some herbicide stuff. We'll talk about some nitrogen stuff. We got lots of things on the list here. I got a full page of really sloppy notes. I've got producer Adam with me here in the Nutri and Macomb studios, and knock on wood, the computer is working fine at the moment, and the internet connectivity looks good. So hopefully we can get through an episode with no technical issues. So I I didn't notice this field in time this morning on my drive to Macomb to stop and jump out and trespass and pull an 18-inch tall giant ragweed plant out of this gentleman's bean field. But you've all seen fields with big weeds in them. There's some cornfields that got some pretty big weeds. There's bean fields got some pretty big weeds. I know this spring has been just in general a somewhat of a shit show. And so we're trying to get done planting. We're trying to make replant decisions. It's been hard to find good days to spray. This day today so far looks beautiful for spraying. Hopefully the winds stay down, and we need a lot more good spray days between now and June 12th. You all know what June 12th is. That's the last day to spray dicamba. Hopefully not forever. We'll talk about that here in a minute as well. But we got 14 days, calendar days left that we can legally make over the top dicamba applications in soybeans. And that's barring any days where it's too hot or too windy, or too wet, or whatever else. So don't be afraid to, I got some beans at home that are about that tall that I have turned loose for post application whenever they can get to them. So do not be afraid to spray beans early. We've talked about this before. When it comes to post emergence herbicide applications, regardless of what system you're using, whether it's XtendFlex or XtendFlex with dicamba, XtendFlex without dicamba, Enlist, whatever system you're on, it's always better to spray a little too early than it is to spray a little too late. And it's easy to get into that too late situation. Just with everything we got going on, you get a couple rain delays, and all of a sudden your 4-inch tall weeds are now 6-inch tall weeds. And I'm exaggerating that because you all do. So I got a list of stuff here on the board to kind of remind me of some things. And so we're going to kind of go maybe a little bit helter-skelter through things, just kind of as they pop into my head. As you ask your questions, we'll certainly move those to top of the priority list. I think we've got an hour's worth of material here. We'll see how we get along, and I'll see how many times I distract myself. But so just so I don't forget it, Adam is going to put a link into the chat. If that doesn't work for you and you want to participate in the public comment period on dicamba, you have until June 3rd to do that. And if you do not have access to the website to post your comments on, please contact your FSR or your dealer or someone that can help get you to that. Adam and I did a little research here this morning, trying to figure out what is the actual website that you can go to make public comments. And it's a little bit tricky to figure that out. We've been provided links that will take you to that website, but it's a little hard he did a Google search. It's a little hard to find the actual site that you could just type it into a search bar and go to it. So seems like you need one of these links to get there. And so we're going to post that in the chat. And if you need someone to forward you that link, I would say start with your FSR. They all have access to the link. And if you want the option to utilize dicamba in soybeans again next year in 2025, might be worthwhile to express your opinion on the value and utility of dicamba in soybeans, as EPA is offering that opportunity for public comment on the proposed labels for 2025. So there obviously will be changes to the label. If we get a new label in 2025, we'll probably be, what we have asked for is a pre-only label. So probably, most likely, at least in soybeans in Illinois, we are not going to be looking at post-emergence applications of dicamba in the future, but we can certainly still use it in a burn down, certainly still use it pre, if we can get the registration approved for those over-the-top use formulations. Now, I know that's confusing when we refer to them as over-the-top, because we're not talking about post, but just as a group of products, what the EPA refers to all of the low volatility formulations that have been developed for use in Xtend soybeans. So Xtend Max, Ingenia, the products, the names that you're familiar with, those are all called over-the-top dicamba formulations. And so that's just kind of a general term that is used to describe them. So anyway, that public comment period is open until June 3rd. And we'll keep you posted as things, conversations continue with EPA. They are interested in getting the product re-registered. They have asked us for months ago to sit down and start working on that with them. So that's all positive. That's all good. We have submitted a proposed label that we feel will be very easy for them to defend, and relatively likely that they would be able to approve the label that we're asking for. We could have asked for more, and asking for more probably would not be able to approve the label. So there's a bit of a dance that goes on here where registrants, you can ask for what you want on a label, but you also need to be realistic and ask for what you can get. And asking for things that are not realistic and not in the cards is not helpful.